All right. So we are live here, back to the WNXL action. We have Dallas
Vibe.
Yep, Dallas Vibe versus the Heroines, and we have Femmes Fatales versus the No We Don't.
And the Heroines with 3 kills off the break. Great shooting from the Heroines as they also take the snake corner and moving far, far up the D side. So good concede on the great shooting off the break on the Heroine side, and that's a good quick concede. Restart that game, and I'm really digging the Heroines jerseys right now. Very comic book vibe.
So Heroines versus the Cheetahs in that one. So yeah, Heroines actually have 3D jerseys. You can wear a pair of 3D glasses in their jerseys.
No way.
They're awesome. Yeah. So hit up the Heroines booth. They have 3D glasses, and they also have a scavenger hunt going on right now in 3D here at the event. So that was a quick point by the Heroines going against the Cheetahs. This next coming up is going to be Dallas Vibe versus the Femmes.
Yeah, and we got a chance to watch the Vibe team actually vibing together before this game. They were really in good spirits, joking around, singing, having a good time. And so let's hope that translates onto the field for them.
Yeah, they're definitely a fun team to be around and just out here trying to enjoy the moment. I'll tell you what, the female pros out here are really taking this to heart, making sure that everybody knows how serious they are about this.
Yeah, as we watch the breakout of Dallas Vibe going against the Femmes Fatales, you can't really sleep on the Femmes Fatales either.
Yeah, great breakout here.
Very, very short from Vibe. They take as pocket as you possibly can as the Heroines go all the way up to the Snakeside 50.
The Femmes Fatales.
Sorry, the Femmes Fatales go all the way up to the Snakeside 50.
Yep, so, yeah, Femmes Fatales, they do lose one out of the center, but they fill over pretty quickly. On the Dorito side. But Vibe just running a racket right now on Dorito side. They do get a good trade, shoot that player out, dig her out of that center. But it looks like still 4 alive for Dallas Vibe.
Make it 3.
3. Oh, commentator curse. I feel bad. So
3-on-3 or 3-on-2, I believe.
I believe it's a 3-on-3. I think they have a player. The Femmes have a player over in the Dorito side right now.
As the camera we were watching gets smoked, the up into the Vibe side of the field, the Femmes Fatales are now into Vibe's Dorito 4, but she gets taken out down the wire, so great counter punch by Vibe. And now we are looking at a 2-on-3 as the Femme Fatale snake player gets into the snake and out to the Dorito side, but we lose that player, and now just the Femme Fatale snake player left in the snake 2.
I don't think she knows that she's alone right now. So,
yeah, I also don't think Vibe knows where she is, so she might be able to get a sneaky kill here or there as she gets found by the corner player, and they're fighting that one-on-one down the wire of the snake. However, the Vibe player in the center seems to believe that there's still one player left on that D side, but I believe it's a 2-on-1 here.
Yeah, so right now, playing this slow, not want to make a mistake. 2-on-1s, easy, winnable, right? They're
Absolutely
not a situation where they can't win. So,
but unfortunately, the best time to win this sort of passed when they didn't know that she was the only one left, and so now that they're working together and realizing it's a 2-on-1, this situation is going to come much harder for the Femme Fatale player in the snake.
Yeah, they're working methodically, working slow, trying to make sure this Femme Fatale's player can't move. So big move out of the corner. She's going to try. So the snake player is going to try to catch.
And she should get her here. She's been inside a little too long. Great snapshot. That's a trade that's okay, though. That 2-on-1, a trade is exactly what you want there as long as you have one player alive. And so great move by the Vibe player. Maybe could have completely committed to that earlier instead of trying to finesse it. However, they still come out with the win there. So
yeah, phenomenal move by Cluse, number 2 from Dallas Vibe, to close that game out. Ran down, got the Femmes player out of there, and then leaving one Dallas Vibe player left to hit the buzzer. So who was that hit the buzzer?
19.
Number 19 from Vibe, staying in strong there, working her way in the center.
And really good job. Is it D? Gee?
I think it's Gee.
I'm sorry, I don't have that on my notes here. So, Guy, good job at that point, making sure you stay alive and also working that 2-on-1 instead of trying to gunfight, really working with your player and working out that last player.
JC? Yeah. Oh, okay. So just a little update from the roster. So actually, Guy is actually hurt this event. She is wearing, JC is actually wearing Guy's jersey. So good job, Perez.
As we watch the breakout here from Femmes Fatales as they get a second try, they lost 3 off the break early last time, but they make all their spots this time, including the snake corner. So Vibe with Femmes. Is this Cheetahs?
Yeah, that's
you're
Cheetahs.
right.
Cheetahs
I'm sorry, Cheetahs with a much better breakout as they lose their Dorito side player. So 4 bodies up, huge move over here for the Heroines, getting up into the Dorito 50, and I don't think anyone knows that she got in there.
No, and so it gets me to the same thing that's semi-pro. A lot of the jerseys look exactly alike,
yes,
so
similar.
it's hard to sometimes it's hard to commentate. But unfortunately, Walsh, who's having a good game for the Cheetahs, they picked her up, they shot her out, and now the Heroines are moving into the snake. On your screen right now, you can see the back lines of the Heroines trying to hold it down, make sure that Cheetahs can't move. I think this is Laser here in the snake knows that player is there in the 40-yard line structure. I think she's about to find out though.
Yeah, this is going to be an easy kill. Throws a couple into the back there, but that was a big zone drop on the Cheetah spot because the player that got into the Dorito side 50 and killed the Cheetah snake player caused every single Cheetah player to look over that way, allowing Laser to get down the snake and cause the guns to switch again. And Heroine's doing a great job with the 1-2-3 punch, getting up into those spots in the mid game, and then having the discipline to then allow their teammates to get up the field and shoot the rest of the bodies.
Yeah, Rosie McCurley, great job on the Dorito side running down.
And unfortunately, on the Heroine side of the field, the pod runners who believed the point was over, but the point is not over until the horn sounds came out, and I believe the Heroines are going to be starting with a penalty here. I'd be interested to see how the ref decides this. I think they're going to pull the last body on the Heroines, not giving them the point there. No bodies alive, and that's an unfortunate penalty because it's, pod runners, it's usually people helping, but that is the rule in paintball. You can't send anyone out onto the field until the point's over.
Yeah, so just to confirm that by the ref, so the last player alive for the Heroines is going to get a penalty, so it's going to be a no point because the pod runners ran onto a live field. So if you're just now tuning in, thank you so much. Welcome everybody back here. We have some great WNXL action going on. I'm Vince from Let's Talk Paintball, joined by Nick Laval from Edmonton Impact. And what you just seen happen there is the pod runners running onto a live field is a minor penalty. So in a situation like that, just in the pits, got to be tighten that things up a little bit. You got to listen for that buzzer. You got to listen for that towel.
It's hard because a lot of times the pit crew is people that are here to help and not necessarily professional pit crew people. And so, that's an unfortunate penalty to get. But I'm sure the Heroines can come back as we watch
the Femmes breakout here. Great breakout. Jumping over the ref and into the 50 brick.
As Vibe loses two players with Femmes all the way up into the 50 on the snake side, much in control of this game. Also up into the Dorito 3. The Femmes looking really good, but they dropped a zone, and one of the Vibe players gets into the snake. So 5-on-3, yet no one knows the Vibe player in the snake. I think this player is probably going to get a couple kills here. And there's one.
Oh, they picked her up. They know she's there now.
They do not.
Oh, they ran right past her.
Yep.
Oh.
And there's 2. And so now we have a 3-on-1.
Oh, the Femmes player just realized that she was there. Wow. So that just mental mistake on the Femmes. They still win the point, but mental mistake on the Femmes there. They're running right past the snake player, not picking her up, realizing she was there. And then luckily, one of the female players clearing the field slow, head on a swivel, and picked her up. So
absolutely. And the thing we talked about in the last match in terms of this field and being chaos, a lot of times players are going to get into spots that you don't quite know. And so if you're not taking your time to clear the field and really connect with your team to figure out where someone could have slipped through, that's what's going to happen. And that Vibe player, caught 3 players, and it could have potentially been 5. So that's a great lesson for the Femmes, is they did get the point, but next time that they're clearing the field, hopefully they're double sure.
And that comes down to identifying the kill count too. Do we know for sure that we're kill 5 or we're kill 4, right? Mm-hmm. The divisional team that I play for, coached by Grant Piani, who is the coach of the event in Lone Star, we'll have him tomorrow in the booth. He has a call for us called Magic. If you don't know, then magic the field. Just make sure everything's at. So back into the great breakout here from the Cheetahs on the left-hand side. Heavy guns off the break, and they're going deep. So they go to the insert bunker. They don't go all the way into the snake. That has not been successful with them this game, as the Heroines been picking up that lane. But, Heroines player getting shot in the hand. Hey, keep it going. Brett's not calling her out for it.
Yeah, Heroines with the great shooting off the break on the snake side. They killed 2 bodies off the break again. And Heroines' shots off the break are just great. And so looking at the Cheetahs, being able to start in a little bit of a safer position and then working their way out, it doesn't seem like something that they're comfortable with right now as they start losing bodies out of spots, and Heroines much in control of this game. However, what we talked about with this chaos field, all it takes is a player to get lost as the Cheetah player gets into the snake, but there's some paint on her, so it doesn't look like she got lost, as someone on the Dorito side knows where she is, but it looks like she almost gets a shot on the snake player for the Heroines and takes another shot over the top, and she might bring them back into this game, although Heroines now in the Cheetahs side of the field on the D side. This is going to come down to the snake player getting a couple kills and the player behind her really holding that D side. As we take a look at the Heroines backfield right now, this is their opportunity to start making moves at the field and close the gaps with their front players, as they're doing that on the Dorito side. Could use a little bit more of that on the snake side, but regardless, they're getting those kills that they weren't quite sure where those bodies were, but now it's a 4-on-1 or 2, as we can see the last player of Cheetahs get peeled off on your screen there. So doing her best to hold off that D side. That was really on the snake player to maybe start getting some kills. Didn't happen, but that was probably one of the better points by the Cheetahs that we've seen. So hopefully they come out with their heads back up instead of sort of getting down on themselves, because that first point, they lost a bunch of bodies. Second point, they lost a bunch of bodies. That was the closest point they've had yet. And so there's progress in there.
Absolutely. And right now, too, with the Cheetahs, they are a fast, aggressive team. Cheetahs, perfect name for them. When they try to go into these more pocket plays, kind of like hold up on their guns, that's not who they are. Right?
They do not look comfortable back there.
First team. So, like to see them back. What was working good for them, especially the first event of the year, was just running down the field and taking bodies with them. So, they seem to be trying to switch their game plans up, but like you said, they don't look comfortable sitting back in the pocket.
And going back into this Dallas Vibe Femme Fatale game, 1-1, as we take a look at the Femme Fatale side of the field, it looks like both of these teams are going to be running far on the snake side.
All right, and we have Vibe on your screen now, doing that same pocket double-up move. It doesn't seem to be working, though, as they're not getting any kills on the snake side. Oh, but they do get a kill on the Dorito side, as one of the Femmes players is walking off Dorito. 2 Femme players walk on the Dorito, so it is a 3-on-5 right now. 3-on-4.
Yeah, but the Femmes have that player up in the 50 snake side structure. So if that player can catch a couple players on the Vibe side filling out, that'll be huge. But she really should have stayed towards the D side, as you see the Vibe player on the D side coming up the field, because you saw those 2 bodies peel off. This 50 structure is probably going to get shot in the back in a second here. No, as the Vibe player passes the snake 50 structure, and she's actually going to be able to turn around and potentially see that player in her side of the field, but she misses her with her eyes.
Wow, and I think that's Tammy Adamson in the middle there who missed. Wow, she missed. Ooh, a little love going on right now. A little extra heat. So the center player there did not pick up the Dorito side move from the Dallas Vibe player, the Dallas Vibe player ran right past her, looked at her,
Absolutely.
ran right past her, decided to get the buzzer. And that's a real team player right there. She's not trying to kill stuff or anything like that. She knows the point is to hit the other base.
Absolutely. And, that's a big problem with playing the middle on this field on both sides. There is a lot of miscommunication, inability to see, and inability to react. And so really the teams that are going to be winning this event on this layout are going to have middle players that choose which way to shoot at the right times. And that really is going to come from the front players on the D side and the snake side telling that player, hey, we just lost 2 players on the Dorito side. I need you to shoot D-way. And that was the thing that the Femmes were missing there, because they actually had a really good setup for the way that Vibe played that. But again, as we saw in the last game, a zone dropped in a very important zone. Game over.
Yeah, exactly. In a situation like this right now, you need to make sure that you're checking off on those gaps. So going back to this Heroines Cheetahs game right now.
Heroines, big move over to the 50 Dorito structure. Awesome delay, great play call.
Oh, penalty on the Heroines, though, getting hit with major penalties. So that pulls 2 off plus the body. So is there, okay. Oh, it's a minor, I guess. So sometimes that happens through a red flag, meant to be a yellow. So still 3 players on the Heroines side right now, trying to contain the movement here from the Cheetahs. Cheetahs having 4 players. 3 players left alive, so it is a 3-on-3.
And they lost their big attack on the D side there with the 50 structure Heroines player. And so now as you see this 50 structure from the Heroines switch sides, that's a great switch. This is what we're talking about. She got that kill on the D side. As the snake player from the Cheetahs gets in, might get a chance to take a shot at them.
Yeah, great tactical retreat there on the Vibe side of the field to go from that 50 structure back into the 4th Dorito there to try to set a little trap.
I probably would have stayed in that brick to be able to help my snake player a little bit more. But either way, 3-on-3. This is a classic island drill with 2 players on the snake side, 1 on the Dorito side for each team, as is this laser about to finish this game out.
Oh.
Great move into Cheetah's side of the field as she's about to probably peel off the last players here.
That's 2. Yeah, she gets 2.
And the back center for sure.
Oh, they toweled it, but still.
Little late on the towel.
Yeah, still gave her. Oh, man. These girls are absolutely savage out here.
Yeah.
Laser getting a 3-pack, completely dominating the snake side.
And gives a little spin, a little pirouette to the Cheetah's pit there, as the Cheetahs must have been jawing at her saying she got hit, but she gave them a little spin. Hey, I did that clean. And great opportunistic play, because this snake is very opportunistic. And Laser saw that the Cheetahs, again, with the zone drop on one side of the field, comes down and makes them pay for it.
Yeah. Well, it is getting spicy out here on the WNXL field. Everybody is giving each other a little extra love.
That's right.
But it is warming up a little bit, so we are starting to see a little bit of bounces go on. I mean, Gadina's there for the Cheetahs, and the snake took a bounce off the head. So we are seeing it is getting a little bouncy. So make sure everyone out there, if you are playing, check your bores, check your air. Because check your paint.
And don't leave that paint in the sun.
Don't leave that paint in the sun. Biggest mistake a lot of teams make. So breakout here on the Femmes side of the field.
Femmes taking ground again all the way up to the snake side 50 structure, but get shot that time. So good play call on Vibe to be able to take that that major threat out for the Femmes. And Femmes still in the backfield as Vibe also loses one up the middle, but still gets into the 40 Dorito side structure, which is going to completely cut off the snake side for the Femme Fatale. So Femmes are going to really need to recognize that and then be able to push the Dorito side as they have that open right now. But Vibe really in the driver's seat right now with 1 point over the Femmes. But the Femmes do recognize that gap and they get up into the Dorito 4. And I don't think Vibe has picked that up from looking at their backfield right now, which is going to actually open it up for the Femme snake player to get in if she can get past this 40 player's gun, which I believe that is... Never mind.
Great movement right now going on from the Vibe side of the field, getting up, but catches the player. Oh, but they do trade out. Looks like Lauren Salinas does trade out with Tammy Adamson there in the center.
And Femmes getting all the way down to Vibe's side of the field on the Dorito side, peeling off the last players and tying this game up. So really good job on the Femmes, losing one of their major attackers in the middle there off the break, but fighting back through those 40 guns that were crossed up on them and taking that ground, realizing the D side was open, and again exploiting that side that lost the gun. And that is going to be the story on this field. You can lose players off the break, you can lose players out of their bunkers, but if you don't make the proper switches to cover those zones, you're going to pay for it quickly on this field. And so having those talks with your team, hey, when we lose this player, what do I need to do to make sure that someone doesn't come down this side? I think that's a lot of the things that we're missing here. And so we're seeing important players get pulled off the field, whether they got shot off the break or out of their bunker, but no one covering that zone, recovering that zone, spreading out the guns. And that's been the story so far on both these games.
30 seconds.
Absolutely. So back on the field, we have the Heroines and the Cheetahs. Cheetahs really need to figure something out here, right? They're having a little bit of a tough time this event. They did get mercy ruled their first game, so they really need to pull this one back and make it close.
Yeah, and 3-0. They're not playing as bad of a game as it seems that they are, but they're going to go snake or the God bunker off the break there, and then all the way up to the Dorito 3. Okay, so Cheetahs definitely pushing back into this game as the Heroines lose one of their snake protection players, and that's going to be the spot that becomes open here for the Cheetahs as they're making their secondaries up into the middle. They're doing a really good job with their primaries and their secondaries. Heroines realizing that they're up 3-0 in these back spots, just making it hard for the Cheetah players to push up the field. So it's going to be if a Cheetah player gets past one of those guns or if they get shot doing it, as I believe the Cheetahs just lost another on the D side over there. Heroines being very disciplined about being up 3 points. They can lose this point here as long as they burn off enough time to make it worth it.
Yeah, and here we see Kadena is number 27 in the snake for the Cheetahs, making it pretty consistent, but they have to watch out for that bounce shot off the 50 structure.
And there it is.
Oh, and she gets it. So, unfortunately, bounce shots do play a factor out here, especially in the heat and as blown up as these bunkers are.
And a counter punch from Laser
wow.
back into the snake. She's really doing a good job being patient and then pressing the snake when she needs to.
Yeah, Laser, during the first event, Jen Falk and Laser were a 1-2 punch over here in the snake. And Jen has actually switched to the 2 in this instead of the 1. And Laser's doing a phenomenal job as the 1. So, but it looks like we got a little surgery going on here in the snake 2. Doing a little hopper surgery for Laser, trying to figure out what's going on.
That's actually Jen Falk in there. I'm sorry. So Jen with the great move pulling out the snake player, and she's fixing her gun in the snake too there.
Oh, so they did switch it back. Okay, so
she gets another kill. She fixes her gun, gets that kill out of the player in front of her, and she really has the snake side to herself as she starts to press on that back center, and she gets 2 shots there on the back center, tucks back into her bunker, and that is the game. So really good job absorbing the attack of the Cheetahs there and then counter punching into the holes that they created.
Good job, Jen. Sorry, I mixed her up there. Her and Laser. See, I'm used to Jen.
I think I said it first. I'm sorry.
Well, I'm used to Jen wearing the brown beanie, but
yes.
Obviously with the heat out here, she's not wearing it. So, but her and Laser, I mean, they have to be the most. Maybe Vang and Glus on the Dorito side, or excuse me, on the snake side for Vibe. But I think the strongest 1-2 punch right now in the female division is Laser and Jen Falk. They work absolutely amazing together, and they're interchangeable. One will play the 2, one will play the 1. They'll switch it up. It just makes them so much less scoutable because of that.
Absolutely, and I think that's a hard thing for a lot of teams, having 1 designated snake player. Having 2 that want to get there and feel the most comfortable in there really allows you to play certain snakes with a little more gusto. And so having those 2 snake players really lends to a field like this where you can lose your snake player early, but you still have someone that's going to get in there afterward.
And you see that every practice, having 2 of the best snake players on your team as well.
Always feels
actually
good.
3. So, all right. So on here in the break, Dallas Vibe getting into the corner. Oh, but looks like it's going to be a penalty assessed. Oh, yeah, a minor penalty on the player for getting shot in the hopper. Still playing on. That takes 1 with her.
So Vibe losing 2 off the break, technically, as the Femmes Fatales really coming back into this game. You know, they were down, and now they, being 5-on-3, have a potential to go up for the first time in this game.
Yeah, really trying to close this game out fast so they can get these points.
And the importance of coaching here. I mean, Femmes coaching did a great job conceding that first point early, and then with the play calling here to be able to press back into Vibe's confidence.
Yeah, and with it being all tied up, this point is the most important right now.
Yeah,
it really is kind of dictate the momentum here.
Yes, this is a big momentum point as Vibe loses their Dorito player now, trying to push into that chaos, which I think was a good move. But, you know, the Femmes did a good job keeping that zone control. They realized that they had lost a body over there, and now 3 all the way across the 50s with Vibe stuck in the back bunkers, the snake corner and the Dorito side can. And as you can see, the snake corner on your screen really being smothered, not able to get any shots off or get their gun up as...
And that's JC in the corner, and unfortunately, it looks like she'll be she's going to end up being the only player left alive. Oh, no, the Femmes player actually missed the Vibe player, but they're going to towel it.
So great job on the Femmes. They're going up for the first time in this game, 3-1. Let's see how Vibe reacts to this. I mean, they've been up a lot of the time coming off the field, a couple of them getting shot a little bit extra. I mean, how do you go down a point there and then come back in with low time and come back against the Femmes? Whereas the Femmes, you know, at the beginning of the game, they were playing a little bit hesitant. And now you can see all their players stacking up on the 50s, making their secondary moves, not afraid to take gunfights. This is a very mental game, and it seems like the Femmes are coming on top of the mental game now. So this is going to come down to the Vibe coaching, the leaders on the team, how they're going to come out and change the momentum here.
I know it's a little early in the tournament, but I'm saying right now, Femme Fatale's most improved team I've seen so far. One of the more cohesive team moving together that I've seen in the division, and a complete 180 from what they had at the first event.
And, you know, Cheetahs 0-4 against Heroines here, as it looks like they're about to lose one off the break. Heroines' break shooting has just been incredible this game.
Brad McCurley, who is the coach of the Heroines, is really focusing on their off-the-break shots. He has them doing drills day and night to make sure they're hitting that, because as a pro, you know the importance of, I mean, if you get somebody off the break, 20% of their power is gone.
Absolutely. And break shooting is really your best chance, your safest chance to take someone off the field, usually. And Heroines making their fills out now to the Dorito side. They're doing a great job playing the pace that they need to play to cause the Cheetahs to have to push into their guns. And if you take a look at Cheetahs, they don't really want to leave their primary bunkers, even though they really need to put some points on the board here. So you really get a look at the mental aspect of both of these teams. Heroines playing in the back, confident, on their toes, rolling their guns. Cheetahs playing in the back, hoping that the Heroines are going to give them a body, but it doesn't really work that way. As the Heroines player on the D side does give a body over battling. She probably took 4 or 5 shots at the Cheetahs player, but still in control, being 4-on-5.
Who's in the snake right now? Alicia. So Alicia, huge move in the snake right now, filling from the corner, knowing the situation. But the Heroines do lose a player off the Dorito side, so they have to be careful not to drop too many bodies. So Alicia not getting any pressure right now, trying to figure out where everybody's at. She needs to communicate with her player in the center so she can make her moves. But it does look like there is a little bit of a battle developing right now. Cheetahs player. No, she's there. Trying to get low, trying to wait for the Heroine snake player to move over. As you can see.
And again, Heroines are in the driver's seat here, so they're doing a good job with the players alive, picking their gunfights, as the Cheetahs look like they're about to lose the only player holding the snake side here. And so Alicia will probably be able to get a shot on this can on the Cheetah side and really close out the game, because I believe that will be Mercy after this. However, Cheetah's doing a good job pushing that D side of the field and getting lost over there as they get 1 kill off the Heroine side, making it a 2-on-2. And here's where the chaos sets in.
Wow. Amazing job by Alicia, staying alive in the snake, picking up that player in the center in the can. I think there might be...
I'm pretty sure that's it there. I'm pretty sure that's going to be a max game. So good job on Heroines playing the pace that they needed to play. It's 6. Okay. So 5-0 here. And, Cheetahs unfortunately start to need to worry about point spread here. And so, depending on the rest of their games, what their bracket is, who they're about to play, as a coach, what do you do here? Do you try to run out the time and let the Heroines run out the time with you? Or do you press into it and try to score 2 points in a minute?
Yeah, I mean, the way they're breaking down right now, I'm a push. I'm always a push guy, right? Push it, try to get as many points as possible. The problem they're going to have is I would rather be down, 6, in this case, down by 5 than down by 6. Especially when you're talking about a mercy. They only scored 1 point this morning in a mercy rule loss. And then now they're looking at another mercy rule loss. I would sit everybody in the back. I'd roll your guns. I tried to run the timeout to at least help a little bit with that point spread.
Yeah, unfortunately, if you have a mercy rule loss in your first game, you kind of have to go for it here.
I know.
You can't have that much of a point spread. As we watch Vibe break out here, and they're taking the pocket, and Femme Fatales make it out to the snake corner, 2 in the back center, and secondarying out to that Dorito side, also making the first Dorito. So Femme Fatales with a really spread breakout. They take all the bunkers across the back line, which is not easy to do on this field, especially the way teams like Heroines and Vibes have been shooting. But Vibe loses their first attacker on the snake side. So looking good for Femme Fatales, being up 1 point, spread all the way across the back. This is on Vibe right now to have to push into that as 2 players come off the field. So Vibe 3 on 5. With not a great spread on the field. This is where, Vibe's coach needs to start looking to concede this. But we talked about momentum. We talked about what these players are going to do when they come back on the field after being up and then going down. As the Femme Fatale players in the corner get shot, Vibe definitely still has a chance here. So depending on how much time's on the clock, I would probably let this run out and let my Vibe players try to come back and tie this game up. 4 on 3.
Yeah, and a close one there from the Femme Fatales player. Lucky she didn't get a penalty on that. She was shot in the hopper for quite a bit of time there when the ref seen her try to and finally was able to track her down. So,
and we talked about zone control. Femme Fatales completely dropped the snake zone control as Vibe gets into the snake and has a player in the 40 able to protect their snake player from getting up. So this Vibe player can crawl all the way down the snake and finish out this game to tie it up if she so sees it.
I think this is Cluse again in the snake. Not quite sure. The long hair does cover up the names.
Absolutely. And if she could just take a look inside the field and see her player going up into the 50 and realize that player had been cutting off the snake side, she would realize she could go all the way down to the other team's snake 1 and really start taking out the defense of Femme Fatales, because the Femmes are doing a great job on their discipline. They're cross everywhere on the back line. They're rolling their guns, they're talking, and they're losing just 1 player, make it 2 out of the backfield. Let's see if we get a penalty here from Vibe. Yeah, I think that she deserved that one there. Little too much, as she did pull 2 players off, but it's a 2-on-1 as the snake player takes out the back center, and it looks like...
Unfortunately, that was Allen, I believe, that was in the snake that was wheeling and dealing there. But unfortunately, player on Vibe got the penalty, and that did pull her out. So, yeah, penalties like this. Just what do you think when you see a tournament, for example, that has a lot of penalties? Refs are doing a phenomenal job. They're keeping up with everybody. Lots of penalties. What are you looking at? Is it just inexperience? In some cases?
So it's a combination of things. Starting with the reffing first, I think refs should be there to facilitate a clean game. So refs should be trying not to pull penalties and trying to stop players from playing on as much as they can. That aside, when it comes to penalties against certain players, I really think that this one is lending to the chaos and frustration of this field, and certain players are playing into that chaos a little bit too much and not being able to turn off that go after you get the first kill. And that's what it looked like there. She got that kill that she needed. but then tried to go for a second one.
So Heroines and Cheetah back on the field here. I believe it's 5-0. Cheetahs really need to pull this one back so they don't get 2 mercy rule losses on the day. Makes point spread almost impossible. To come back from.
Secondarying into the snake there from the Cheetahs. However, Heroines get a good spread on their breakout across the back of the field as the Cheetahs lose 1 player in the middle. And the problem here is it looks like the Cheetahs are a little bit separated in the way they want to play. Their front players need to push the field, but their back players also need to push the field. But as you can see, they're not holding anyone as the Heroines player gets into the snake. So great job on the Heroines side to get up the field while playing defense. They don't necessarily need this point, but it makes it harder when you're even further up the field.
Yep, and Bishop on the Dorito side of the field trying to contain the Heroines players from moving down, doing a great job just trying to close that gap. But unfortunately, she does lose another player next to her. So it looks like it just to be a 3-on-2. And they picked her up now. They know Godinez is in the snake. Oh, wow.
Coming down to bunker the snake player, and it looks like they're going to give her a penalty.
And the Heroines.
Oh, they're giving Cheetahs a penalty, which...
I thought it looked pretty bang-bang to me.
It was close, but the Cheetahs player did get shot and then turn her gun. So that's going to pretty much end the game and give the Heroines the last point.
No, so it looks like the only players left alive were on the only Heroines players left alive were on the Dorito side of the field. So the ref wasn't going to pull the Cheetah player. He was running to the Dorito side of the field to pull the 2 Heroines players that were left. So
that's interesting. So that's a major penalty that they're giving her there because that's going to be a swing point. Although
I don't know if it's under 60 seconds. Trying to see how much time is left in this game right now, but so just trying to get some clarification real quick from the ref. What happened there?
Yeah, from my view, that looked like the Cheetahs player played on. However, if that was on the Heroines, they did have bodies to pull there. Yeah, that's what I saw. The Cheetahs player played on and had no players to pull, so that's going to end that game there with a mercy 6-0.
Yeah, that's a tough one. So Heroines, great for them. Good showing this event. Strong last event too. So coming in, dialed up, ready to go on this field. Unfortunately for the Cheetahs, it's 2 mercy rule losses in a row. So that's going to be hard for them. Now, they still have a chance, though. They can come back tomorrow, and if they mercy rule both the teams they face tomorrow, they'll be able to stay in this. They really need to go 2-2 with a 0-point spread in order to really make this possible.
And looking at this Dallas Vibe breakout now, they are being down 2 points. They send 1 player all the way up the middle and over, short on the D side up the middle, which is an interesting play. So this looks rather defensive to me from Vibe. As you can see, the Femmes players playing a little bit more offense, even though they're being up 2 points, getting into the snake. So snake for the Femmes and all of the middle bunkers for Vibe. So I wonder if Vibe is also looking at point spread here being 2 points.
Yeah, and what an amazing match we've seen so far. Definitely a little closer than the last match we've seen. Femme Fatales, really spreading the field out, getting their snake player in early and often and causing some chaos in there. And Vibe just hasn't known how to handle it so far. And as they lose another one, they lose 2.
So Vibe down to 3 bodies. And one thing I really like to see from the Femmes is they started doing something that was working, and then they stuck to it. Getting into the snake, not necessarily changing it up too much, still pushing up 2 points as 2 players fly down the Dorito side. For Femmes, they lose 1, but they keep 1. So this snake player on the Femme Fatales looks like she's going to be able to crawl down and peel off the remaining players on Vibe. And there is...
Yeah, Lauren Salinas here in the middle trying to hold off that attack. Unfortunately, hasn't picked up the snake player yet, and she's going to get a free kill. Oh, and unfortunately just gets peeled off by the snake player here for the Femmes.
And great shot there. Just center lens.
Yeah, and she knew where that shot was, so you can tell she's been practicing that over and over again. So.
And this Dorito 1 player and the Snake player can actually see each other right now, although they both switch at different times and miss each other. And great shot from the Vibe corner to take out the Snake player from the Femmes. Femmes still in control of this game with an extra body, and but they do let both Vibe players sneak out to both the Dorito 1 and the Dorito corner, and they lose one out of the back. So very interesting turn of events, as it looked like Femme Fatales were very much in the driver's seat in that game. Great fight by Vibe, and they peel off another one out of the backfield of Femme Fatales. So this is an interesting game. This is about to become a 1-point game. I'd like to see how much is on the clock, because Vibe does realize that a lot of players have been peeled off, and they're being very careful, as you can see, walking down the field, which is really smart, because they did make a mistake earlier about that, and they realize, okay, that's the last player. Let's go get this buzzer, and let's get it quickly.
Absolutely phenomenal play by number 2, Klus, here from Vibe. Wow, just taking those shots, taking a deep breath, watching bodies die around her, but knowing that she has to be that anchor. She has to be the one on that side getting those kills. So great 1-2 punch we have going on from either side of the field. They work together, communicated it up, and move slow up the field. We're going to see, I know the one player is close. We're going to see who the other player is real quick as they jog off. So that was number 19. Oh, that's JC wearing Gee's jersey.
Yes.
So
second time we called her out this match, and so consistency, right?
Consistency. So crossing it up, really doing a phenomenal job getting those shots.
And so this should be true X-Ball now,
Yes,
as the
they
Femmes
are in
are
true X-Ball.
very quick to get back on the field. I respect that, as they're on the far side. The point had nearly just ended, and Femmes getting back onto the field. So maybe that's going to give them a little bit of advantage when it comes to being ready. The Vibe players pit, though, they look very calm, cool, and collected. They seem like they have time. They've got some smiles on their face, but they got a lot of work to do. They still have a point. They are down a point still, and time ticking down. They definitely need to take this seriously.
So Femmes, a little deeper of a roster, a lot more fresh legs out there, so that makes a little easier for them, to get on the field quick. They can spin almost 2 lines, so good job for them getting out there, and they really getting out there and showing Vibe, like, we have all the energy. We're not going away. Doesn't matter, you just won that point. We are here. We're still up. So,
yeah, and I would have to guess that, that timeout was coming, was what I was about to say, because that's a great timeout for Vibe, I think. 2:19 left in the match with 1 point to tie. So Vibe is definitely doing a good job taking their time with that timeout, making sure they get this point and go out with a good game plan. I think this is going to be the most crucial point in the match for them. Not this point, but the next point, I think, is going to be the most crucial match for the Femmes. They can sort of play this a little bit defensively and hope that Vibe makes a bunch of mistakes, as they need to win this point in 2 minutes to tie. So what would you do if you're the coach in this situation? Are you telling the Femmes, hey, we're up by 1, 2 minutes left? Are you telling them to hold back and wait, or are you telling them to go for it? Absolutely. I think I would give a little bit of a mix of that. And so for my shooters, I would be telling them to hold back and wait a little bit. I want them to really stay on those lanes and not let Vibe start in the back and then end up in the front. Front players, I would probably give them a little more freedom, as they've been getting into the Snake, they've been getting into the Doritos. So allowing them to get into those further up spots to then maybe cross up the field and slow it down and allow my 2s and 3s to get out of there. So there's going to be sort of a little bit of a balance needed, and let's see how Femmes play it.
All right, on your screen now, Femme Fatales need to make sure heavy guns, all 5 guns up off the break, but still go deep as they do move to the center.
And Vibe getting in the Snake off the break, as they need that 1 point. But again, the delay from the Femmes getting into the Snake off the break clean. But they lose one out of the middle, 2 out of the middle, and a penalty. So big swing for Femmes. They're going to lose 3 bodies there. But I don't know if Vibe realizes that there's a Snake player.
I don't think they understand the Snake player. And 2, I don't know if they know where the bodies are, just because they are playing a little more cautious right now. They're not storming down the field. Great backup here as the snake player leapfrogs, trying to figure out. She goes in. I don't think she knows there's a player on the other side of her yet. She does now. Oh, and absolutely demolishes her. So, wow. So,
Vang.
yeah, Brittany Vang coming in, playing off a little bit of an injury, comes through. The first time we've seen her on the snake side, and she absolutely destroys the back of the Femmes player.
And the Femme player you're looking at on this D side is the last player on the field here. This is a tough one for the Femmes. Using this time to talk about how they're going to play the next match, this player is probably going to take a lot of extra paint. 60 seconds left in the game. So as much as Vibe is being careful here, this is only for a tie. If they want to go for the win, they're really going to need to get this point here a little bit faster to give themselves time to press into that.
Yeah, someone just needs to sacrifice their body and go.
I have to say this has been very good coaching on the Femme Fatales. Even though they're going to let their player get bunkered in the end there, it's still going to be a little bit harder for Vibe to win a quick point. I know that this is a tie game, but obviously the Femmes have lost a little bit of momentum here. They've also gotten bonus balled a couple times within that match.
Uh-oh, someone just yelled major.
And we got a major. And if that is on Vibe with under 60 seconds...
All right, so it looks like they called a major on the Femmes, but they had already hung the flag. Vibe had already hung the flag. So we do have it. It looks like we do have tie ball game now. Again, WNXL is a little different. It is than the semi-pros, which are also in this field. WNXL is the same exact way as the pro male NXL. So it is 6-point mercy, and they do not have ties. So they will play a 5-minute overtime.
Excellent. And, with under 60 seconds here, the odds that someone wins this are small, but not never. This is going to be a pretty good coaching call for, I would say, Vibe to potentially go for it, as it seems like they have been playing that quick aggressiveness a little bit better. Femmes have been a lot more controlled and working with each other to move up the field. So I think if I'm the Femme Fatales coach here, I'm playing for overtime. And if I'm the Dallas Vibe coach here, I'm playing for the point.
Yeah, absolutely. And Dallas Vibe has been known in the past for being a strong, aggressive. Look how fast Brittany Vang worked down that snake side, actually leapfrogging her one. Great communication the entire time, and close that out. Now, I would have liked to have seen in that situation, they had 4 bodies left alive. It was a 4-on-1, especially if you hear someone say, hey, it's only this bunker. Someone go sacrifice their body, not getting a penalty, but just go trade out that player, get that one out of there, and close that point off a little quicker, because then it does save a little more time where they have more time to maybe come back and win and don't have to go to that overtime. Like Joe Rogan always says in UFC, don't ever let it go to the judges, right? In that case, because you never know who's going to win. In paintball, very much is don't let it go to overtime if you don't have to, because one team could have a good point, and then next thing you know, they're winning. So,
and especially on a chaos field like this, I would look for Vibe here to play pretty aggressive. I would like to see their snake player potentially delay into the snake and then crawl all the way down. I think that the Femmes snake player has been doing a great job delaying in there, but getting in there and realizing the last 2 times where it didn't work out for her was because she lost down the wire.
Yeah, absolutely.
So fighting that wire battle first for her might pay dividends in this point, but either way, both teams definitely have a lot to gain and a lot to lose from this point.
And everybody's out here fighting for this coveted BKI Most Valuable Player Award that we have. BKI was nice enough to donate a fully functioning powerhouse rig, a custom anodized.
I'm taking this one.
Oh, hey, I'll let them know. They'll know where to find you. So, but every player out here fighting to get one of these BKI
as we
awards.
get to watch the Vibe breakout here. Let's see how they do it. All running and gunning, putting a lot of paint on the D side as they do get 2 kills off the D side. Huge for Vibe. If they can capitalize on this, as they probably have about 30 seconds here to recognize that they have those kills and that they can move down the field. Looking at their body language, though, it looks like they're not necessarily playing for the win, so maybe they did not talk about that in the pit. Femmes Fatales really just need to lock it up here, maybe make a secondary as they get up into the 50 brick structure on the snake side. Femmes Fatales having a great position, but they did lose 2 off the break, so a little bit of a fumble there from Vibe as they got 2 big kills, had a blown side, and had the potential to run and get that flag. However, the smart play for overtime. So, they have more faith in their overtime play, and, I can't blame them.
Yeah, and that says a lot about the Vibe organization, that the coach trusts his 5 players up against any other 5 players. They are the reigning defending W1XL champions right now from the first event. So the coach just said, hey, we're better than everybody here, our 5 bodies. So let's go ahead, be defensive, run the clock out. Let's go to overtime and win this. Like I said, though, the problem we have with this, though, is as good as the Femmes have been playing, I don't know if I would have risked it, sitting back and letting the Femmes try to run into me in that situation, because the Femmes have been doing very good, especially at this point. Look how close it is.
Yeah, definitely. And they started from behind. They were down points and they came back. However, I think the momentum in this match has shifted for a third time. I would probably give Vibe a little bit more of the momentum. Just looking at some of the Femmes players, they just lost 2 off the break. That always hurts. They have 2 lines. Sometimes that's difficult to deal with in terms of momentum, whereas the Vibe players are playing almost the same players, at least 2 rotating. I see some new players going out there on the overtime point, which is interesting. I don't know if there's a line shift or an injury, but Vibe going out there before the Femmes. I'm always interested when that happens, who's first to the box, who gets to take the time to think about it, but also on the vice versa, who got the most information from their coach. And it looks like the Femmes are not ready to come out. They're still talking 20 seconds, and they're a little confused about which side to go to. They only have 2 players on the box here as Vibe gets all their players out.
Where's the timeout at? I would have called a timeout in a situation.
I don't know if they had one. They're going to get 5 to the box, so it's going to be a 5-on-5, but that does play in effect as Femmes Fatales put 3 in the back center. I don't know if that was the actual play or because they were laid out to the box, that's how it ended up. But they're going to get 1 out to the first Dorito, and it looks like we're going to have a 5-on-5 overtime, which I love. Vibe getting out to the snake corner, so more ground on the snake side.
So Todd Adamson letting the refs know, hey, Vibe had 6 players on the field before the buzzer, and the 6th player ran all the way off the field, though. So it looks like Vibe, though, is going to drop a player. As you can see here, the back line of Femmes Fatales really holding to their guns, trying to make sure that the Vibe cannot move out. Great move out, though.
I think she got hit, and it looks like both players lose a team. Femmes Fatales lose their snake player. Vibe has lost both their snake players. But they have 2 guns towards the snake side covering that gap, and the back center shooting the D side. So Femmes Fatales in better position with a body up as well.
Yeah, but Vibe really trying hard. There's the outside move you see there, going into the insert bunker into the snake. Look for her to try to get into the snake as soon as possible to try to do something.
And I believe that is Laser. So she has been getting into the snake, but Femmes Fatales getting onto the Vibe side of the field on the D side, and no one has picked this player up. Wrapping the D side 50, and
so it's Alan.
Alan getting that kill from the attacking Femmes Fatales player. So wow. Alan, great job getting into the snake. And as you can see, getting up the field and then playing defense is huge on this field. So great job getting into the snake by Alan and stopping that attack that could have ended this overtime point.
Oh, but Femmes knows she's there now, and they are pumping her bunker to make sure she can't get out.
And she gets a shot down the snake wire. Great shot.
Alan may single-handedly win this point right now for Vibe if she can get this next kill. Oh, and she does. She gets a 3rd kill. Is she going to get the 4th?
There it is. So Alan single-handedly starting in that inside cam, moving her way out to the snake side. It looks like the Femmes Fatales player made it to that first Dorito, and she does. She's alive.
Wow. Oh, she takes a hard bounce. Lucky. Wow. She takes a hard bounce from Dorito 1 in the head. Good for her. Wow.
So 3-on-1 here.
Number 22, Allen here, trying to close the game out. Oh, she
And
does.
Allen gets shot,
Oh, she does get caught,
but she trades.
not before. Running ref. Oh, okay. All right, he's going to call it bang bang. Okay, he's going to call it clean. So good job by Allen, number 22, breaking this game open right now, taking 3 bodies with her.
So Allen, great job turning it on, getting in there when they were down bodies, bringing it back to even, then finishing out that game there. Vibe only with 1 player left on the field, but that's all you need.
That's
so
all.
great job riding that momentum into winning that overtime.
Yeah, so that will do it for this overtime point. Vibe wins a close match against the Femmes Fatales. And then on the flip side of that for this set, we did have a mercy rule win from the Heroines over the Cheetahs. So thank you so much again for tuning in to this amazing day of play we have here on the NXL Live Premier Field. If you're tuning in live on Facebook, thank you so much. Don't forget to like, share, comment, follow, subscribe. And thank you again to our special guest, Nick Laval, out here. It's
Anytime.
always wonderful having you, and it's becoming a regular thing now.
Yeah, let's keep going because I love seeing this play and, watching these women get better and better. Having better games is incredible to see. So they're definitely putting in the work, and so got to give them the credit.
Yeah, absolutely. So good luck for the rest of the tournament with
Thank you.
Impact, and we'll be back right after this commercial break.